In this video, we are going to see 5 interesting chess traps for white that you can use to trick your opponents and win in just a few moves. So let's get started. So after e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, he goes bishop c5. Then you just play d3, knight f6, repairs to castle. Then you play knight c3. Then after castle, you just play bishop to g5, pinning the knight to the queen. h6 gets the bishop, but then you play h4, sacrificing the bishop. If he doesn't take the bishop, then you can bring it back. But if he takes, which will most players will do, then you can recapture. H takes g5, and after knight to g4, threatening a 4 by f2, you just play g6. Knight takes f2 seems like a natural response, hitting this rook and the queen. Then you play knight takes e5, sacrificing the knight as well. Knight takes e5 is a natural response, but then you have rook h8, sacrificing the rook. And it's over for black here, because after he takes, you bring in the queen, and after he goes here, you have queen h7, checkmate. This is also a common checkmating pattern that you should know. But can't he just take your queen? Well, then you will play g takes f7 check. He is forced to take with the rook. Then you play bishop takes f7 check, and after king f8, you just play rook to h8 check, king e7 only legal move, and then you just play knight to d5 check. We don't need the queen, we are going for the king. King d6 final square, and then knight to c4 finishes the game in style. Let's move on to the next trap. So after e4 e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, bishop c5, you go d3, and here you place knight g7. This is also you might have faced quite often. Then you go for knight g5, threatening a 4 pawn f7. So black will definitely castle here. Then queen h5, threatening mate in 1. So h6 attacks the knight. Then knight takes f7. You are threatening a discovered attack on the queen. So he plays queen e8, pinning the knight to the queen. But then you have knight takes h6. This is a double check. So the king is forced to move. Let's say he plays king h8. Then you have knight to f7, double check again. And after king g8, you finish the game with queen to h8, checkmate. Let's move on to the next trap. After e4 e5, f4, he goes t5, the fogware counter gambit. Then you just take here, and after he takes with the queen, you go for knight c3, queen e6, puts pressure here as well. Then you just play knight f3, and after he takes with check, you just play king f2. This is quite a savage move here. Bishop c5, seems like you are in trouble, but then d4 hits the bishop. Bishop b6 maintains the pin. Then you have bishop b5 check. Here, if you play c6 or knight to c6 or even bishop d7, then you just simply play rook to e1 and you win the queen. Therefore here, you gotta play king d8. Then you again play rook to e1, hitting the queen. Queen moves away, and then you finish the game with rook to e8, checkmate. Let's move on to the next trap. So after e4 e5, knight f3, here he goes for d6, the field or defense. Then you just play bishop c4, he goes f5, the field or counter gambit. You will play d4, knight f6, develops the knight, then knight c3, and after he takes, you just recapture with the queen. Bishop d7, develops the bishop, then knight g5, threatening a 4 on f7. He goes knight c6, hitting your queen. But actually you first play bishop f7 check, king e7, and here a normal player would just move his queen, but that is just bad. Instead, we are going to sacrifice the queen with queen takes f6. So after he takes, you just play knight to d5 check, king e5, only legal move, then knight to f3 check, king takes this pawn, and then you finish the game with knight to c3, checkmate. Let's move on to the next trap. So after e4 e5, We are going to play d4, and after he take, we will not play the Danish gambit here. Instead, we will go for queen takes d4, the center game. Knight c6 is the main move here. Queen a4, then knight f6 develops the knight. Knight c3, he plays d5, striking in the center and also threatening to push this pawn. Then you play bishop g5, just pinning his knight to the queen. And after he goes queen e7, putting pressure here. He just long castle here. Now he goes d takes e4, as you are putting pressure here. But then you play knight takes e4. He can't take with the knight, otherwise he will capture his queen. So definitely he will capture with the queen, and you cannot take this knight, otherwise you will lose your queen. Therefore, we are going to play rook to d8, sacrificing the rook. If he plays something like king takes d8, then you will just take the queen, and he can't take because of this pin. Well, if you enjoyed these chess traps, then don't forget to give this video a like, and here are some more amazing chess traps like these. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss more of these videos.